Welcome to the second devlog of Balanus. It has been yet another month of development, and I have a couple items to share about the features I have completed. I will be talking about the overworld map, new engine for creation of the battle map, some new changes to the strategic map, but also there will be some points about the first iteration of the diplomacy and kind of the overview of different kingdoms and empire, and starting point of the economy that we will see. So what you are seeing here is the overworld map. So you can think about it like the map of the empire that three kingdoms are trying to invade. You will be playing as one of these kingdoms. They are not necessarily kingdoms, but because the titles they have are also generated, but you will treat them as kingdoms as they are not yet the level of the empire, as the main faction is. So this world is created with a new map generator. We can change it, generate it, some of them, and I will show you some examples. So you can see that it can provide very different types of maps. Some of them will be completely landlocked, but it's also possible to have it as an island. Okay, move the camera a bit. Yeah, so this is full of debug information, the screen, so this of course won't be presented to the player at the end. For now I just have it all on the screen to help me debug the issues or potential issues that are happening on the way of development. But you can see that there are a couple of biomes that are being generated, and those rules, how they are created and where they can be present, are also procedurally initialized. And then based on these rules, when we press the world map generate, we have a new world. If we would press world map init, this would change the rules completely. So if I generate it with new rules, then the kind of placement of the biomes also changes. It might not be that easy to see because there are some ranges which were considered good for each of the biomes, but definitely the differences are there, and sometimes that might be very easy to see. So you can see that apart from biomes there are other items in the map, like you can see these small hills, you can see the structures placed around. There are some forests, there are seas, and of course the biomes itself, like you can see the kind of bright snow, dark snow, and it goes same for the kind of swampy areas and grass, rocks, etc. All of it affects the parameters about the current tile I'm present at. So you can see that not only the width and the height of a later generated strategic map will be affected by the tile we are selected, but also you can see that the elevation of a specific tile, but also the average of elevation which is taken from a rand of surrounding of one tile, are affected by what type of biomes there are. Like for instance here you can see that hills having a bit higher elevation than for instance completely desert areas. So the game will be presented to you that way, and then you will be selecting next tiles or next part of the map to invade. And the corresponding strategic map which I showed last time was created randomly the last time you have seen it, but now if we select any tile, let's say we select tile which has mostly sand around, but some hills as well. And we press invade, then this strategic map is being generated based on the input from the overworld map. You can see there are some deserts here, mostly flat area around the height of 270, and yeah, and also the size of the map is associated with the tile that was selected at the overworld map. There are just a couple of structures in here. So then, if that would be your chosen tile of invasion, your next goal eventually will be to start ruling in this tile. When this is achieved, you will be going back to the world map. Currently there is nothing like persistence of this level, so if I leave this level, it is gone. It will be generated again, but it's not saved yet. Like again, I went back to this map. This is also not persistent, so that will be the next steps to just have it like a possibility of long gameplay where you can load and save game between sessions. So similarly, if we choose a tile which has which is having some sea around, some grass, you can try to look at it. You will see that there is a sea present in here. It's not associated. It's not like it's supposed to be on the east, and from what you see here, it looks like it's on the south, but that's not actually true, because the east is on the kind of bottom of the map. I will have a plan to make it accurate, so it's also saying that north is always on top, not on the left as in this case. But you see that it's also being correspondent to what we have selected. Again, flat, almost flat, with some structures, some forest, and the sea. Let's go back again. And this time let's choose something which is having some mountains, possibly. Let's generate until we will see a bigger mountain. So the elevation is not taken only by the tile of your choosing, but also the surroundings. So like in here, you would see that the elevation is 1300 for this tile, but the average elevation is 900, because it's based on these 4 tiles around. And this is the actual elevation that will be used for strategic map. So everything what you see here when you're trying to invade, you will not be having the metadata from only one tile, but it will be kind of averaged from everything around. This kind of allow us to have this smooth transition between the map and the other one. But let's choose the snowy map with very high elevation and see what will be generated for this tile. Yeah, so you see that there's some tundras, some snow around, but also this is a very mountainous area. But still, this has not prevented the map to generate some cities and castles as well, but other items as well. So yeah, so the next step will be generating the battle map. So if 2 armies will meet at this map, they should be moved to a map which is battle map, and which also will be correspondent to what you're seeing here. It's not done yet, however I can still show you the changes we had in a battle map. So let me load it. So it's not much. This is using the same map engine as the one that is creating the overworld, but this is having different tile sets and it still needs some scaling and setting like that. But if we'll be fighting, for instance, on sand or desert areas, this should be mostly built from sand. With other biomes it would be similar. So the main difference in this mode is having this background. Also you can see that now it's visible which part of the map is considered to be where the battle will happen. We also have a new faction which is of the humans, so we can see for a while how they are fighting with the bandits faction, which was already present last time. However, I have added missing units there. There haven't been many changes to the units this last month, so they will act mostly the same. I still haven't added these special abilities like critical hits or some war cries that a leader should have. But possibly in some of the next releases where I will focus on the battles, I will add more of this. What I'm planning to do is to have more control over the units or the groups of units and actual possibility to win the fight. Yeah, so those are new units. One of them archers. We already had crossbowmen before, which had fewer bolts than archers have arrows. However, archers are not that accurate, so you can see that they often miss the target, but they have much more arrows to shoot, so they try their best. Here you can see that they were attacked by a tag, but so they kind of switch to the melee combat if they are able to, or if they are forced to, because melee starts only when you're close enough to the opponent. If you're not close enough, then they will still try to attack with a wrench weapon, which kind of makes sense. The tags here, they are also new unit, so their goal is, or they will try to attack from behind, where they will have a higher critical chance of damaging the other unit. At the moment, they are acting as any other melee unit. Here we have a king, which is also part of the attack. So the whole bottom part of bandits is destroyed. The top of humans is also destroyed. Yeah. So this will not go back, I guess, due to the visibility ranges, so they will just traverse to the end of the map. Same with the heavy units here. Yeah. Okay, so this is all about the map update. Let's now go back to the strategic, or actually we could start from a world map again. We'll generate a new map. Yeah. So what you can also see is if we select the tile that contains some structures, suddenly the width and height are doubled to what you can see in other places. Also, if we are getting closer and closer in the map, the overall map is bigger. So the point in here is when you will start invading the empire, you most likely will be attacking from the outer parts of it. Then the maps will be smaller, it will go faster and it will be easier, but the further you go into the deep empire lands, it will be more difficult to conquer them. And of course, at some point, other kingdoms that are trying to invade will also have some impact on your actions. But let's choose one of the towns. Let's see, maybe somewhere here. So this will create a pretty huge level, which is I think it was 100 on 100, so it's a pretty big square. As you can see, we also have a FPS measurement now, and as I've changed the this map generator completely, we now have a much more stable around 30 FPS with this even that big map. Previously that would be around 8 FPS. So what I will show you now is kind of the starting point of the diplomacy. So every game will be started, the game will generate the kingdoms. So as I told you, there are 3 kingdoms that are trying to invade and 1 empire. So you can see them here. The first one will be the one that is being played by the player. The second one is the currently ruling empire. And then the last two are the other AI kingdoms that are invading the empire. So you and those 2 will be part of the invasion on this land. You can see here that we are having the names of the countries. We are considered invader or imperium, also for this one. We have a ruler, and as you can see, they are not being considered kings. They have their own procedure generated titles. Like our ruler would be called Honan, and his title is Mairalan. We have some nobilities that will eventually be owning the structures on the map, and as you can see, they also have availability of having titles. So they will have a Gralt Maraneinte, which would be the kind of first level of this title, and then Lora Indom, which would be the second one. It's some of them you can break your tongue. The military titles also will be assigned to some of the leaders. Leaders will be used for assigning to the forces you will have. So we also see that there is some religion that each of them will have, and they will have some recognized gods that will be present for each religion. Here on the left you see that our kingdom has this flag of 1 color, and it's also having a banner which is also affected by the flag. If we go further, you would see that the Imperium currently ruling has their own color and their own banner, which is different from ours. In their case, they have 4 levels of noble titles, and you will see that based on how many structures the nobility or the wardens are assigned to, they have different levels of nobility. So if they have 0, then they are basically not assigned to anyone. If they have 1, then they are the top one, and furthermore, if they have 2, then they will get the second one, etc, etc. Also, their ruler is having different title, and of course the name. If we go forward, you would see that the other invader, Yoh Vaitan, is the country, and they have Senate Kapernent as the ruler, Mr. Kulo Yorois, and they also don't have any structures, so no titles yet. But with the time when you will be conquering and they will be conquering structures, the nobilities will gain more and more status in their kingdom. And the last one is Kargariers. They have pretty fancy banner as well. So how this is working? So when the game starts and we generate the kingdoms, the first thing all of them are having assigned is the name of the kingdom. So when we have the name, everything else is using the name as the seed to generate further. So for this name, the colors are being translated directly from the name, and then the banner, and it goes for all other items here. So basically, your name of your country would dictate everything else what you have. We could generate a new map and see, because every time I generate a map, the kingdoms are also being affected. This of course will not look like this at the end of the game, because then when you start with some kingdoms, you will remain until the whole game is being done. So if you see now, we have a nice viper as our banner. The Imperium is having 3-headed dogs. Pretty interesting, and only one title for the nobilities. A nice dragon for another invader, and helmet. So you can see that this time those two have different colors on their flag, so you can have more than one. And even though all these colors will affect the banner as well, not only the first one. So you will see all the colors from the flag that are affecting the banner. And as you can see, the whole map is currently being, we can call it, owned by the Imperium. So what you would expect from it is that every structure is kind of represented by the Imperium. We have a nice road that is going between the cities in here. So let's see, now we have 3, yeah, we only have 3 cities, but if you go closer, you would see that their banner is also present at each place they are owning at the moment. So the castles are owned by them, even the carpentry have their flag. Of course, places like Lair, where the monsters live, will not have flags, as they can't be owned by human or AI factions. Yeah, and with the time when you as a player will conquer more and more on this map, your flags will also appear. Same goes for the units. This is not yet implemented, but when we have armies, they should march with the banner of the faction they represent. So this is kind of finishing the part of the diplomacy, you can call it that, I guess. So the last part I wanted to show is the economy. So the wardens that you have seen that will own those places, like you can see that this one is being owned by this Piastrzyk warden. You will not control them directly. They will have their own mind, and they will try to act best to use the resources. You can see here that the towns have several ways of production. Like each of these resources that you see here, if they have this smaller one, it means that they can change the raw gold into the coins. They can also change ingots into gold coins. Same goes for the silver, and in each form, so raw, ingot, or they can go into gold, or into coins. This is the only, cities are the only places that are producing gold coins even without having any resources for it, because this is kind of simulation of taxes that they will be acquiring. So the warden will passively acquire gold through the cities, and then they can use it to exchange with other structures, and they will try to do it like if you would see here we have a mill. A mill is by itself, it's producing food. So if a city would want to have this food, if the same warden is controlling both city and the mill, they would just do a simple kind of enforcement of moving the food from the place to the place. But as in this case, warden is someone else than the one in windmill, they will try to exchange. So they will need to agree on some rate, and then the city will send a caravan, for instance, with gold or some weapons to exchange for food. And that can go to, and that the same will kind of go with any structure that is on the map. If you can produce something and you're interested in other resource, the wardens will take care of sending these resources between the cities and other places, of course. At the moment, it's what's working is the production. So you can see, for instance, in here in this castle, they can create iron weapon and iron armor from iron ingot. They still have almost 2 ingots, so they're kind of using this amount to produce some weapons and armor. However, as you see, it's at the end there is a ratio, so to create to kind of from 1 ingot you can only create 0.2 armor, which in other words means that you need 5 ingots to produce one weapon, or 10 ingots to produce 1 armor. Yeah. Apart from that, do we have something else? We could see like here, carpentry. So they will be producing some planks, and they can exchange the wood into planks. There are more resources, of course, and with the time we will be adding more. Yeah, but I think it's a good start, and I can now focus on having on adding a word and some some intelligence to kind of start doing this, to gain more power, or to gain better overview of the surroundings. When this will start working, you will start to see the caravans popping up by themselves and going between the places, trying to exchange the stuff. But also, if you have gold, you will, for instance, create patrols that will be going around the cities and preventing from the player from attacking the city, for instance. And the last thing is they can create garrisons, or they will be able to create garrisons and stuff like that. Right. So that's the last item I wanted to show this time. It took some time, but it sometimes I sometimes was stuck with some of these design ideas or implementation, so there were some delays regarding those items. But I'm still happy about the progress yet again. Probably we will see more next month. I'll try to post a video as well. If you want to be informed, stay tuned. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.